Hey everybody, I'm honored to be joined today by Joyce Connery, a dedicated civil servant who spent her career protecting our national security. Her expertise and leadership embody the characteristics of thousands of federal workers in Virginia's 7th Congressional District who keep our country running every day. And yet, under Trump's Project 2025, these civil servants are under attack, daily attack. Joyce, thank you for being here.
Happy to be here. Thank you, sir.
You've worked at the highest levels of government, guaranteeing America's nuclear security. What do you need people to understand about the work federal employees do behind the scenes to keep our country safe?
I think it would be great if the American people understood the dedication of America's civil servants, regardless of the field that they're in, whether they're working with veterans, working with housing, or in my case, working with issues of nuclear security. The federal workforce is one of the greatest workforces, I think, in the country, and they have amazing expertise and experience that should be honored.
American patriots that keep our country safe every day. How dangerous is it when national security decisions are made for political reasons rather than expertise?
I think it's very important to have expertise, an understanding of what went before and the implications of the actions that you're taking now and how they can implicate others. For instance, the Ukraine, when the Soviet Union broke up and Ukraine and the other former Soviet republics which had nuclear weapons gave up those weapons. They gave up those weapons for a security guarantee that their country would remain sovereign and whole, and that we would protect them against any kind of incursion or invasion. And by not upholding that, we're telling the rest of the world that that one, we're not a reliable partner, and that two, perhaps giving up your nuclear weapons is not the way to guarantee the safety and security for your nation.
And we're both wearing colors today to show our support for Ukraine, right? Yellow and blue. So you work closely with our allies to prevent nuclear threats. What happens when a U.S. president sides with dictators like Putin instead of standing strong with our allies?
Well, again, I think it gives a message to our allies that that we're not to be trusted, and that perhaps they have to look to other places for their security guarantees. So they could turn to other adversaries of ours. They could turn to China or to Russia, or again, they could go it alone, because we have extended guarantees. For instance, in nuclear, to say that we will extend our nuclear umbrella to South Korea and to Japan. Well, if they don't believe that that is an ironclad guarantee, they may look for other means to protect themselves, to include nuclear.
So you dedicated your career to protecting America's security and serving our country. What's at stake if Trump and his allies continue to gut the civil service, especially for the folks in Virginia's 7th Congressional District where we both live?
So I think the implications for both the Virginians and for the country are significant. One, you're losing expertise that is irreplaceable at the federal level. You're also sending a signal to the youth of our nation that working for the government isn't stable, and that they may be maligned for doing the duty that they're actually hired for. And that's a terrible message to be sending to our youth when we actually need the best and the brightest to be working for the future of our country. And of course, for Virginia, if you don't have people bringing home paychecks, if you're canceling contracts, that's going to have a disruptive effect on the economy, not just in Northern Virginia, but across Virginia. Not to mention the fact that 30% of federal workers are veterans of the armed forces. And so now they might be unemployed, and we're cutting veterans benefits at the same time, and may even be cutting Medicaid. So I think that's a recipe for disaster, and for a lot of people to be in a very dire situation in the near future.
So Joyce, thank you so much for your service to this country and your insights on national security issues. In Congress, I will fight for our civil servants every day who work tirelessly on behalf of the American people. The stakes couldn't be